I work hard to earn my pay, and I saved real big today at All-American Ford.
Hey everyone, it's Chase Savino, the marketing director for the All-American Auto Group, and this is the All-American Auto Mall in Old Bridge Updates podcast. This is episode number 24. It's going to be kind of a quick one today. I'm actually technically attending virtual NADA. So NADA is one of the largest automotive conferences each year, usually something I end up going to Las Vegas for. They've had it in a couple of different places like Florida a couple of years. But yeah, I'm usually out in Vegas for 3 or 4 days during this. It's a big conference. They have vendors. They have all these different presentations, all these different workshops, and then dealer franchise meetings. So I've already attended Mazda, Subaru, and Ford's. You know, it's basically their executives just kind of addressing the dealer body for each manufacturer and just kind of, you know, giving them updates, telling them what's ahead, recapping the year before. So it's these big, long virtual meetings. And so that's happening this week. It ends later today, actually. So I'm going to make this one kind of quick, just talk about my Super Bowl commercial recap, since I talked about that a little bit last episode, give some updates for what's to look ahead for, and that'll be it. So let's get into the Super Bowl commercial recap. All right, so last week I talked about the reveal of the 2021 Ford Raptor. Gave some of my weekly updates, and then talked a little bit about the Super Bowl, and mostly obviously focusing on the marketing side of it and the commercials and what I thought we could expect. I talked about how it was going to be interesting to see how companies responded to, you know, the year of 2020 and COVID, and how they would address that and if they would approach it at all. And I think we got a mix, which is exactly what I was expecting. So some of the better ones that I thought personally, and I would love to hear the audience's reaction to this and their feedback. I'm going to post, obviously, like I always do, this podcast on social media, and, you know, we'll ask for everybody's opinion on the commercials and what they thought was their favorite. So I want to start with Ford and their Finish Strong commercial. I talked about that last time. You know, it was good. They addressed COVID head on, really focused on their donations, and when they changed over their manufacturing, you know, to masks and ventilators and stuff. So it was good. I think it was strong. It was genuine. I have no problems with that. It has gotten pretty good reviews so far. From what I've seen on like Twitter, and then, you know, all these blog posts about the best and worst Super Bowl commercials. So it was a commercial that's been playing. You know, Ford released it early, so we kind of knew it was coming, and I think it did its job. I was happy with it. I'm fine with it. I think M&M's and their Come Together commercial was great, where you know, somebody messes up or feels bad and gives a bag of M&M's to people. That was one of the first ones shown, so that was a good one to start it. I thought Bud Light had an interesting night. You know, all the alcohol and beer manufacturers end up going big. It was very noticeable this year that, you know, Budweiser and some of the other bigger ones pulled out. But Bud Light, you know, kind of went big, and they had 2 notable commercials. So they did a Legends one where they brought back past Bud Light commercial stars in this Avengers-style team-up. I actually thought it was great. I'm a big Marvel and Avengers fan, though, but I thought it was awesome because I thought it was a great callback to their past Super Bowl commercials. And I think it made a lot of sense. But I was surprised that the reviews of it weren't that good. I guess people thought it was a little over the top and didn't really hit the mark. I don't know. I kind of disagree with that. But then Bud Light's other one was last year's Lemons, which I thought was a little interesting when I saw it. I thought the way they approached 2020, you know, kind of disregarding the COVID and the emotional part of it, and kind of the terrible parts of it, and kind of just making a joke of it. I don't know. I think it rubbed people the wrong way. I thought it was an entertaining commercial, and I didn't think it was too bad, but I know it rubbed some people the wrong way, and they got a little bit of backlash from it, I think. Moving on to a really good one, I thought, the T-Mobile commercial. So the first one came out before the Super Bowl, when it absolutely exploded on social media. It was the one with Tom Brady and Gronk, you know, about the dangers of a bad phone network. and choppiness during FaceTime. So I thought that was fantastic. Obviously you could still look that up. I highly recommend it. And then it made so much more sense too that Brady won the Super Bowl. So it was just a cool commercial that T-Mobile got right, before the Super Bowl. And then during the Super Bowl, they had one with Adam, Gwen, and Blake. That was pretty good. So check that out. So I think the message and the way they did it was very creative. So I give T-Mobile props for that one. Amazon had a really good one that they labeled Alexa's Body, which was with Michael B. Jordan. I thought that was fun and creative and kept people's attention. That got good reviews. The Cheetos one for It Wasn't Me was a good one that got good reviews. And then there was a couple that, I don't know if they missed the mark. I kind of agreed with some of the reviews out there, but these were typically on the list of the bad ones. The Uber Eats one with Wayne's World and Cardi B, I don't know. I thought it was okay. The Chipotle one with Can a Burrito Change the World? That got really bad reviews. Apparently, people just, I don't know, thought it missed the mark. I just thought it was a little boring. Jeep's one about the middle. So this one I actually thought was interesting. When it was playing, I was engaged in it. So I was interested. I think, though, with Bruce doing it and then every, keyword they could throw in there about unity, I think it got a little too political. And I think that's why it ended up on a lot of lists of, maybe they stretched a little too much. Maybe they took a little too much chance with it. I don't know. I thought it was pretty well done, though. A good message. Jeep took a chance with being a little political with it. And it ended up on some of the negative sides of some of those lists. So it is what it is. And then I want to talk more about, in a couple seconds, a couple of the car ones on my list. But the last one to talk about that I thought was a complete loser, and it ended up on all of the worst lists, was Robinhood's ad about we are all investors. So I'm still shocked that they actually ran this after the fiasco that happened with them shutting down because of the whole, Reddit and Wall Street bet apps and all that stuff. I don't know how they continued to run it. I don't know why they spent so much money on it after what happened. And, I don't know. It was just weird. It didn't address the negative PR that they've been getting because of that. So I think that was a complete waste, missed the mark. Not only was it a waste of money, but it probably upset people even more that they actually played it. So I thought I thought personally that was absolutely crazy that they ran that TV ad, but it is what it is. And then the car one. So GM was very interesting. So General Motors and Cadillac, they ran two ads, both about EV. So obviously, I've talked about this in the past on the podcast. Every manufacturer is going to be moving towards EV, so electric vehicles. With a big focus on it. I've talked about it a lot with Ford and their Mach-E, and they're going to have an electric F-150. They're going to have an electric regular Mustang. They're going to have an electric Transit coming out later this year. So, every manufacturer is doing it. GM had that pretty cool Hummer commercial, the all-electric Hummer that's going to be like $100K. That aired, I believe that was during, I don't know, it was during one of the big sporting events that I was watching, either football playoffs, maybe one of the other playoffs, I'm not sure. But that got a lot of attention when that came out. So EV is huge. GM went big on it with the Super Bowl, so they spent a lot of money on this, two different commercials. One of them was, labeled with GM, and it was with Will Ferrell, had to do with, Norway and how good they are with electric vehicles. I actually thought that commercial was a home run. I thought it was hilarious, kept me engaged the whole time. I don't know if GM really got their point across, though, that, I don't know, that they want to be leaders in EV. I don't know. I'm probably biased with that last part there, but I thought the commercial itself was great. It was hilarious. I thought they did a good job. And then their other one was for all electric Cadillac, spoofing on Edward Scissorhands. I thought that was a pretty good commercial. It ran a little long in my opinion, but again, not too bad. So GM really focused on EVs for this. Toyota had one of their typical emotional commercials. I thought it was good. I'm not going to be biased and bash them for this one. They did a good job with it. It was about the Paralympic swimmer, Jessica Long. Definitely tugging on the heartstrings of parents. So that was pretty cool. Obviously, their main sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team. So with the Olympics potentially coming up, with COVID, who knows? I think that's why they did that. That's why they focused on it. It was emotional. It got attention. It did its job. So, props to them. That was fine. So that's my recap of the Super Bowl commercials. Very quick. Again, please post on social media your reaction to it, your favorite commercials, which ones you didn't like. Email me, like a few folks have been doing each week. I love it. I love the feedback. I love the questions. My email address, jason@aafordnj.com. So email me any questions or comments you might have. But that's my Super Bowl recap. Some quick updates this week. Like I said, it's virtual NADA, so I'm a little bit preoccupied with that. That'll end later today. We should be getting more Mustang Mach-E's in any day now, so I'll be posting about that. I know we did get a pretty cool Land Rover trade-in vehicle. I think it's 2019. That'll be on the site, and we'll post that on social media. I always like when we get these cool trade-ins, people, taking a quality late or newer model year vehicle, trading it in, for a Ford. And then we get a great quality pre-owned vehicle. So check that out when I post about it. But it should be on our website if it doesn't sell right away. And that's really it. That's the big updates. And we'll be back next week. Thanks, everyone.
Well, everyone can